Welcome back, and I'm so glad that you're still here. I promise you won't regret this. Here's the rest of our interview, and stick around afterwards because you're going to hear an exclusive first of his new song, Don't Let Me Fall, off his new EP that should be released very, very soon. And you have a new EP coming out, right?
Yeah.
Or it already did. I saw this was to come out this year in
Right.
wintertime. Winter's kind of over, but
Yeah.
did it come out? And
No, it didn't come out yet. We set out to put out just another EP, but we had so many songs. We had about 15 to 20 songs that we just said like, wow, these are really good. This could maybe turn into a full length. And we wanted to kind of just take our time with this producer. I'm working with the same producer that I did on the first record. It's my friend Mike. And it was kind of like when I first started recording with Mike, he was like a producer turned friend. It wasn't just like my buddy that, you know.
Yeah.
So I'd like to recognize him as a friend, but we started recording and we were just like, wow, this is sounding really good, but we don't need to set imaginary finish lines, you know, and say like, oh, this is going to be about the winter, but then if things take a little bit longer and if it's going to make it that much of a better release, we can't say like I said, like set it for the winter and just not be ready. And you can never rush a good thing. So when it came down to recording, we were like, wow, this might take a little bit longer than we expected, but this is going to be a great release, and I really can't wait to release it. So the record's going to be called Beautiful Something. We have about, like I said, about 20 songs for it that we're going to narrow down to from about 8 to 10 songs. And it's going to be that much more mature than the first record. And it's just going to be like that. I did an interview last week where I said that it's just that next step for me. It's that response to the first couple songs I put out in that first release, and it's come along really well. And like I'm working with a great team. I'm fortunate enough to be working with the same team that I was then now, and like they're not just like another random group of guys that come in. It's completely like the same kind of it's the same kind of theme from the first record. It's just like telling more of that story, and being able to see how these guys, because all these songs are things that happened to me, whether it was a breakup or it was traveling, or you know, songs about the road, songs about, obviously I write a lot of songs about relationships. Yeah. So a lot of the guys I play with and the guys I've worked with, like whether there's a production team or the engineering team or even my photographer, like he's seen like how like my sound has matured and he tries to incorporate that into the pictures we take. They're the same guys, and it's cool that they've been there to see me grow.
Yeah, definitely. As
an artist, and they've like kept up with that maturing. I'm a very different person than I was when I was 17. Now I'm 20. So it's nice to see that those people stick with you throughout the years.
Yeah, that's gotta be a great feeling. You know, people who are very supportive of your music and stuff. But you were saying you had so many songs and you're narrowing them down. How do you know when a song can make the cut? Like
Yeah, I guess it all depends. It depends on the song. You know, if you just say like you wanna. It goes both ways. Like we didn't know if we were going to put out a full length or like 7 songs. So if you had a bunch of songs and you said, well, the record would sound so much stronger, you know, I'd rather put out maybe 7 songs that were really strong instead of just feeling the need to add in 3 extra songs, make it a 10-song record, but those songs weren't so strong. It's the same way around. Like it's like you have to go through all the songs and you start to produce them and you start to record them and get them tracked down, and you say like, well, what's our strongest bet? Like, what makes for us? When I say us, I mean just the whole team working on the record, because this record is just as much mine as it is like my drummers and my bassists and the producers. It's not just, oh, the Corey Balsamo record. It's not an egotistical thing. It's like when you start to narrow the songs down and you say like, okay, for us, we wanted to make it the most dynamic record possible. I don't want to make track 1 sound like track 3 and 7 and 8. You know, I want it to be like, for this record, we have like that pop rock song, we have the acoustic ballad, we have that piano rock song. Like we want to, especially if I'm going to be showcasing this, I'm still an unsigned artist, but I'm going to be showcasing this to labels. I want them to see like, wow, this kid is a really dynamic writer. And like pretty much like if we had 20 songs or 15 songs and that we wanted to narrow it down, we'd say, okay, what's a really strong song, and what sets it apart, you know, from the other songs. I don't want to have songs that sound like they're reoccurring, you know. That's because that makes it boring for the listener, and it's all I write for other people. You know, I write for me, but at the same time, I write because I want to send out a message. I want to send out a story that's relatable and listenable, and I want to just be dynamic. You know, I want to break the mold.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So is that what we can expect from this new EP, like maturity
Yep,
and all
definitely.
that stuff?
Definitely a lot more mature sound. Like I said, it's the same team, and we were. Even my producer has matured over the years, where he's discovered new sound. You know, he's my age too. He's only 20.
Okay.
And but like we said, he was 18. I was 17 when we first started recording, and he's just good. You know, I've had offers to record with other producers. I've had business cards handed to me, and it's like, oh, and then they gave me this whole laundry list of artists they've recorded. I've recorded this artist, that artist on this label, on Columbia, or on Universal or whatever, and it's like, that's fine, but it doesn't mean that we're gonna work well together. Mm-hmm. And Mike is the name of my producer. He just is able to capture me in the best light, that like we just click. We just click, and I can't explain that in any other way. I feel stupid when I sit down and talk to him about stuff, because I'm not a very technical person. I'm just that guy in the vocal booth. I'm that guy that's just sitting in the studio playing guitar. I know nothing about that huge board with all the engineering, all the buttons and the lights and stuff. So when I sit down with him, when we were doing pre-production for both records, I said, I was like, well, I want to do this thing, and I would like kind of mumble out sounds. I don't know how to do this sound, but wouldn't that be really cool if we could do like that thing? And he's like, oh, that's this, that, and the other thing. And like, he'll just go on this technical rant, and I'm like, and like we sit down in the studio, and he's able to capture me in that best light. He doesn't gloss me up. He just captures the pure essence of me as an artist. And I feel like that's what a good producer, that's a definition of a good producer. Yeah. Someone who's able just to capture you in that way.
Definitely. Is there a song that you're especially excited to put out there and release?
Yeah. We have a single coming out in just about a month. We're gonna put it out on iTunes. It's called "Don't Let Me Fall."
Okay.
And that's it. I don't know if it's gonna be the single for the record, but we are releasing it as a single off the record, and like we're all so excited for it. Everyone on the team.
Definitely. Do you have any tours coming up to put the word out of this EP?
We're booking tours right now for the summer. After the spring, if the CD gets released. Right now it's just focusing on recording and a little bit of touring. In late April, I'm supposed to be going out to Singapore.
Okay.
I'm doing a 5-day residency out there. And then after that, it's just still back to work. So I'm going to be going overseas for a little bit, and then I come back.
Oh, overseas? Where overseas?
Just in Singapore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, very cool. That's really exciting.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that you're going to get a really good turnout and
Sure,
a very
I hope
good
so.
review and everything. I'm really excited for you, actually.
Thank you.
You definitely have to let me know when this comes out.
Yeah, of course.
But thank you all for joining us. This is Corey Balsamo. If you want to find out more about him or about tour dates or about the new EP that he's going to be releasing titled Beautiful Something, definitely check him out on Facebook, MySpace, Tumblr, Twitter, everything. He's a really cool guy. I guarantee you're really going to get a lot out of this. So thank you again for joining us. And it was really great talking to you.
Pleasure.
You're a really cool person.
Thank you.
And I hope that we can be friends after
Sure,
this.
absolutely.
So, all right. See you, Oneonta.
Standing now, where were you when our dreams came crashing to the ground? Don't mind if I call myself staring. After all, she's the only one, so hang around. But I know it won't end like this, and she's gonna be mine someday. I know it won't end like this. She's gonna be mine. She's gonna be mine. Oh, can you feel it? Seep into your fingers, pressed into chasing the silence. This is everything in the silence. She said, don't let me fall. She said, don't let me fall. Never thought I'd be back here again to Manhattan streets. Turned from a stranger to a friend, and this is something I've been meaning to say for a while now. All those nights I couldn't get it right, and I made a plan just to keep you out all night. I know it won't end like this. She's gonna be mine. She's gonna be mine. me fall. Don't let me fall, don't let me fall. Don't let me fall, don't let me fall. Don't let me fall, don't let me fall. And it's all up to me now. It's all up to me now. It's all up to me now.